was just in the sanctuary meeting with friends and family, and I just want to reflect on how powerful it is to see so many people here today. Ed Broadbent, a living legend when I was able to know him, someone who spent his whole life fighting for social democracy, fighting for people, fighting to make sure that we lift each other up and build a fairer Canada. And today we're seeing so many people that have been touched by him that will continue a commitment to honor Ed's legacy by fighting for that better world. We know it's possible. Donc, j'ai rencontré plusieurs membres des familles et des gens des militants du Parti néo-démocratique et aussi des gens qui étaient touchés par la vie et la contribution de M. Broadbent. Et notre engagement, c'est de continuer la lutte pour une meilleure société égale et une société où on prend soin les uns des autres. With that, I'm ready for any question you might have.
How much did Mr. Broadbent help you as leader of the NDP, and what did he teach you as leader?
He was a significant part of my life. I call him a friend and a mentor, and I mean that. When I became leader in 2017, I remember I had my first call with him, and since then he offered me, if I ever need help, to take him up on it, and I took him up on it, and he was there for me in so many ways. We campaigned together. He was the first person to introduce me when I became elected as a leader as well as an official elected official, and he, as the third leader of the party, made it clear that I did belong to folks that might have looked at me and thought maybe I didn't look like what they imagined as a leader. He was there to announce that I was elected and the leader and to let people know that I did belong. He was incredibly generous with his time and his advice, and I am going to miss him dearly.
What do you think is the biggest legacy for Canadians and for the country?
I think he made it really clear. People called him Honest Ed. They looked at him as someone they could trust, and he made it clear that New Democrats' goal is to take care of one another, that government should and can be a force for good in people's lives, that government should take on the inequality that exists, be the voice for the powerless against the powerful. And that is something that he lived his whole life. He dedicated his life to making that vision of a more just society, a fair society possible. Merci, thank you.
Can you just share some thoughts on the passing of Broadbent and your
Sure, yeah. I last saw Ed just a few months ago. He was in Vancouver for his book launch, and he had as much energy then as I'd ever seen from Ed. He's got a passion for justice, a passion for people, and wanted to share his learnings over a lifetime of politics. It was a very wonderful event. Ed is such a giant for the New Democratic movement and for the history of our country. For me, his key role in Section 35 of the Charter that protects Indigenous rights in our country and formally recognizes them was historic at the time and changed the fabric of the country forever. And so I'm really glad to be here to recognize that contribution. And certainly it's a day of mixed feelings. Amazing contributions from an amazing man, and we're going to miss him.
What is it like being here with, NDP folks from across the country, all in one place?
Well, I like that for recognition of someone like Ed, that there's recognition from all of the parties, that today is certainly a day for New Democrats to come together and recognize Ed's contributions, but all Canadians recognize the contributions he made to this amazing place where we live. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Ed was an extraordinarily important part of modern Canadian history. He was a tireless campaigner for social justice, and Canada is significantly better for his years of service, both in politics and out of it. Honored to be here, not just to reflect on his memory, but to pay homage to his family, his friends, but also the millions of Canadians that he has inspired and impacted over the course of his life. Ed était un Canadien extraordinaire qui a contribué à façonner le Canada moderne. C'était un homme de passion qui était ancré dans le désir d'un monde meilleur pour tous et de la justice sociale. Et le Canada est meilleur à cause de son service en politique et en dehors de la politique. Je suis très content d'être ici aujourd'hui pour honorer sa mémoire, mais aussi démontrer mon respect pour sa famille et pour tous les gens qu'il a inspirés au cours des années. Merci beaucoup tout le monde.